The next question is, wow, Antonio is cheating on his fiance. I don't know why, but that surprised me. Why do women deal with unavailable men and their bad behavior? Yes, that surprised me too. And uh, the only reason why I can think that women deal with men and their bad behavior is for money. But I mean, we've all seen it. Some of us have been there before, and I know for me, it definitely wasn't because of money. It was just, I thought I had a misconstrued view, an idea of what love was, you know, and being raised to think that men are supposed to act a certain way and us as women have to accept that bad behavior. I feel like a lot of us were conditioned to believe that growing up, whether it's from seeing other relationships or being told that, oh, that's just men, that's what they do, just ignore it and you keep being a good woman, being a good wife.
Hostile. Keep being a slave.
Yes.
Keep being submissive to a person who doesn't
I was
deserve
about
your
to say
submission,
submissive to these high value men.
who have no value. I mean, when you're
Mm,
high value, you don't have to state you are. You
that
are.
you're high, exactly. But, mm.
You know. Um, Felicia, what are your thoughts?
It kind of surprised me at first. Like Kyrie said, in the beginning, we knew about Antonio like still having dealings in the streets. Um, but for some reason I kind of saw him as kind of like, especially since he said he knows what he does and stuff like that, so he didn't feel he was good enough for Malia. That made me think that maybe he had some type of morals, or that's it, just some type of morals, like, you know what, I know what I am and I'm not going to bring this into her life. And I was like, you know what, I respect that. And then I read this chapter and find out like he has somebody that is basically, perfect for him, and it's not enough. He still has to have his chick on the side, and then he's still hoping, he wants to keep April, but he still wants to at least tap Malia once.
There you go.
I'm not yeah.
There you
I
go.
I was a
There you
little
go. And that's
I
what it's
was
about.
kind of surprised. I was like, really? He was the homie? Well, shit. Here we go. Um that was while I was reading that. As far as women dealing with unavailable men, now, for me personally, I don't deal with unavailable men. If I find out you have a girlfriend, if I find out you have a love interest, you playing the field a little too hard, like you don't slept with so and so on Monday, you hit somebody else on Tuesday, and we out on Wednesday night, it ain't
Never.
happening.
No
If you're
more.
unavailable, you're just that to me, unavailable. I'm not going to go back
Unavailable.
and forth. I'm not going to fight over nobody.
Never.
Even if they were mine first and then
Crazy.
somehow made themselves unavailable.
All right.
I will make my exit. But I have put up with bad behavior from guys that I, was involved with. Um, like Curious say, we grew up in church, and, we were told that, even as little girls, little boys would mess with us, hit us or whatever. And it was always, oh, that's because they like you. Boys would be
So
boys. That's just how they are. Now, as a woman, this is what you do. And you respect your husband and you respect men and blah, 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 and whatever. So we've seen our mothers do it. We've seen our mothers be absolutely miserable in their marriages, but never walk away. Sticking with them, and not just our mother, but other women in the church have like
right.
cruddy husbands. And so yeah, we've been kind of taught to put up with that for some reason. And it takes I guess a form of self love, and then just respect and just growing up and be like, hey, if he don't have to put up with this from me, I'm
Right.
not gonna put up with that from you. If I can't just, well, I'm a woman and I got needs, so I'm gonna be out in these
I want to say
streets and
that.
you do this.
Don't
And
say that.
yeah,
I
if
need.
I
No one
can't do
cares.
that, then I don't want to hear no, oh, boys to be boys, men are gonna be men, they're gonna cheat, blah blah blah. Um, nah, no, 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 no. We're not. Now I wouldn't put up with nobody's bad behavior. But I have in the past. But the unavailability, no, 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 no. I don't do that. Married girlfriend, love interest,
Mm-mm.
whatever. I'm not. Mm-mm. They can have it. I'll
They
find
can
somebody
have it
available. Hmm.
And you
available.
know what people don't talk about a lot is emotionally unavailable men.
Come on, I was gonna say the same thing.
That too,
Mhm.
because that turns into something, don't it?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that we really should be teaching, our children to recognize emotionally unavailable people
Yeah,
so
there's a
they
lot of
know
people
when
emotionally
they're not to
unavailable.
enter those relationships, because I wish somebody had taught me about that. 'Cause some
Yeah,
people
it
just
will
don't
save
have
you a
the
lot of time.
emotional capacity to deal with certain things. They've never been taught to deal with their anger and, to talk out and work towards resolutions and, all that jazz. So
Hmm. Yeah, let me go back and look at the question again because I have all these thoughts running through my head. Why do women deal with unavailable men and their bad behavior? Sometimes the men who are unavailable to the woman, she's looking at the situation like the grass is greener on the other side. Maybe she sees him with somebody else. Oh, he does this for her, and he provides her with that lot. And I just wish I had an opportunity. And she thinks that maybe her sliding in and playing center field or whatever the hell, what I'm saying, that she gonna show him something that the woman that is in his life hasn't shown him. I don't know. I see a lot of people signing up to be side chicks and side dudes. I don't get it. It never ends well. Never ends well. I was watching something, of course, one of my little shows about people snapped and went crazy and somebody got stalked, but it was a husband. And I was telling Kyrie this yesterday. I said, I think it was yesterday or the day before. Or even you, Alicia. I don't remember. We always talk on the phone, so this
Yes.
man was saying he was in a marriage with his wife and she wasn't sleeping with him anymore and he was so sex deprived and emotionally he was hurt. His wife wasn't giving him any affection. He was so starved for it. So he went and
Girl.
found him somebody 20 years younger, honey. And she was everything. He was talking about this woman, and he's like, she was beautiful. She was exotic. She was hot. I'm thinking, you are on TV and you getting all excited and breathing hard. Like, sir, are you
Yeah,
reliving a
I'm
moment?
like,
So
sir,
he starts talking
she
about how
married.
this young and how she just, the passion in the bedroom, it was just explosive. And I'm thinking, golly, I'm embarrassed for him, right? And the person interviewing him was like, yeah, and she's a woman, oh, pick me. She's like, I understand. But what if? Because I ain't never heard this before. People will tell you, and I used to hear my mother say, oh, my mother was such a gossiper and still is in a lot of ways.
Mm,
If you know it's true, she would be
mm,
like, Cheryl, now how is she gonna think that he gonna stay with her? She ain't slept. No, no, because she told me she ain't gave that man none in the last 2 years. She made it easy for the cleanup woman to come and take her man. You gonna have to give him something. So, I mean, maybe not every day. But you have to give that man something time. My mother would be on the
sorry, did you
phone
say
with,
cleanup woman?
what'd you say?
Cleanup woman?
The cleanup woman, baby. That's what they used to call it back in the day. They had a whole song about it. And, to be honest, my dad used to play that song with my mom. So I don't know what he was. No, now I'm having a flashback now. And he'd be like, yeah, kitty, because the cleanup woman will come and do what you need to do. And in my mind, I thought the cleanup woman was a housekeeper. No, the cleanup woman is, if you're not taking care of your man, I'm coming through and I'll take care of him myself. I'll clean, I'll take care of all this. So I was like,
Mm-mm.
yeah, so they had such a toxic marriage. Anyways, We hear, a lot of times when a man cheats or he steps out of his relationship, well, you weren't giving him what he needed, and men need physical interaction. I've never heard anybody validate a woman stepping out on her husband because he has erectile dysfunction.
Mm.
She needed a sausage. Y'all, she needed that hammer. Like, she never heard nobody.
That hammer. Like, wait, what?
I ain't never heard nobody say, I mean, he couldn't do anything. He has erectile dysfunction and she wanted to go to Pound Town. I Anybody can make excuses for a woman cheating on her man because he couldn't do, no, because he got a mouth, he got a hand, well, he pays the bills. And the father is the reason in the world why that woman shouldn't cheat. Like, go get you a toy. There's never going to be a moment where it's going to be okay. But men can have all types of bad behaviors, and it's like, he's a man. Men are built different. They need to feel the warmth of her bosom on his chest. Shut up. He's
Like,
making
wait,
excuses.
what?
I
Oh, she
feel the
didn't do
warmth.
the dishes. Well, next time, make sure you wash them dishes. And he
I didn't
whips
like
from
the
the
amount
bed.
of pepper you added on that steak. You're just not
Right.
paying attention to him. He makes his meat medium rare. So I feel like there's a lot of people, a lot of bad behaviors being allowed. And can I tell you whose fault it is? Women's. You show people how to treat you. You put up with a lot. Like we talking about people who are emotionally unavailable. Why are you going after men who are status, like in their status, they're taken, they're unavailable. And I'm gonna have them anyway. And we're gonna see how that works out with you. You're gonna have 2 kids by a man who's not gonna claim them. Baby, stop. But yeah, if you are emotionally unavailable, if you are unavailable in terms you're already involved, I don't want it. And again, we need to stop making allowances. We have this notion in society, we can love you past your pain. I can't love you past that. You need help. You need to talk to a therapist. You need to confront your mom and your dad because they let you down. Like sometimes you might have to get that up off your chest, like dust that off your shoulders and address it. I can't fix that for you. What you want to say, Monica? Because I saw you
And
come through.
learn how to love people and care about them without jumping into a relationship with them. Y'all don't need to
You
be
know,
together. Let them get
you
themselves
said it wrong,
together
sis.
first.
You said jumping into a relationship. It was jumping into them draws. That's what you needed to say.
Love them from a safe distance.
No, they want to fix you while they tune you up a little bit. So no, it's not necessary.
Even if you
It's
wanna,
not. And again,
as Corenna says, go to Pound Town. You ain't
you
gotta
want to go
jump
to
into a
Pound Town,
relationship.
trying to go to Pound Town. They want that hammer though. You know what I'm saying? It's the hammer for me. Yeah. Me and Alicia be cracking up on that damn hammer. Yeah, I don't know. The next question is yours, Alicia.
Okay. How is Malia oblivious to Antonio's secret life? I think this is a clear depiction of Malia's naive nature. I agree. I agree. I don't, and what bothers me is she has like these daydreams, that are like so detailed and oh, blah 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 blah, and she's like trying to put one and two together about certain things, and I feel like especially when it comes to Chan, her even having to go over there and ask him, I'm like, if you really sit down and put one and two together, you should be able to come up with something as opposed, well, I don't know. I mean, this seems like this, and this. Let me go ask and make sure. It's like, come on, sis. Like, get
The hands
it
flustered.
together. Like, you cannot be this dang naive. But she is. Especially for them to be friends for so long. Um, to be childhood friends, to grow up with somebody. I'm like, so once he start, but before he went into law school, what was he doing? Was he running the streets? Was he, like we would know. We know, like, people that we grew up with. We knew, we the whole journey before school started, before all this, and especially as childhood friends and always being around each other, and then Even his dealings with all these people, that's how she met Chan, through all his little dealings. And it's like, you never thought where he would know these people from. These are people that you guys didn't grow up with. And I don't know, but yeah, I don't see how I mean, she clearly is, but I don't see how she is so oblivious to his life. He's not really, I guess maybe he's really good at hiding it. He's playing the lawyer role to the extreme, and I'm able to fund this with my lawyer lifestyle. I don't think she knows about the side chicks and the allowances and all that other stuff. So
Hmm.
maybe because it's not her business.
That ain't her business.
Some people be like, "Hey, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't care what he doing. He ain't my man." You know what I mean? So that could be it, but I would think she would have to know a little something. As teenagers, especially dudes, they love the front. Yeah, because I got this going on, and I'm heavy in these streets.
Heavy.
As an adult, you want to dial it back, but young ones, especially if he's successful, I'm like, you ain't never talked to your homegirl about none of this mess. You ain't never got in trouble, because you know how our parents talk. Every time I got in trouble, or Corenna get in trouble, Kitty and Heidi would get on the phone and cut us a new one. Girl, you ain't gonna believe what
Mhm.
Corenna did today. And I'm like, y'all ain't never had one of them moments. I don't know, but if she is still completely oblivious, we may find out later that she kind of knew. But if she is completely that, it's like the thing says, clear depiction of her naive nature. That's almost too naive for my liking. Who
Yeah,
he,
I totally agree. And I'm like, when I was thinking about this question, I'm like, yeah, like y'all not best friends for real. Because how has he not said some things to you, like, discuss some situations with you, and you've been like, what are you talking about? And then y'all have that talk. And even, I mean, this can't be the first late night conversation that they've had in all these years. They went back to high school, together. They did so many things. And then I also thought about, as much as people talk in Rose City, Malia had to hear something out of all these years, so it's like she's playing dumb, or she's turning a blind eye intentionally, because she knows if she was to address it with Antonio, she's going to have to make a choice, right? But at the end of the day, Malia's had so much stuff going on. I feel like, she might hear something and then just be like, it's like Karina said, it's not my business. I can't get into that right now. As long as he don't bring anything to me that's present, I'm just gonna let it be.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that when people really, 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 really do dirt, they don't usually talk about it because they don't really want no co-defendants. Like, you really don't want nobody turning state evidence on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you learn that, like, not even your mama. Like, if I did some dirt, I can call Kitty and say, Mom, Mom, I did
Mm-mm.
some wrong. She'd be like, "What? No, my mom would get on her prayer call and tell every Karina she killed a couple people, and y'all just pray. Yeah, if I don't want to be turned in, there are certain people I'm not telling anything to. Some things you have to take to your grave, and I wouldn't call my mother because, honey, she had me turned in. Baby, the feds would be at my house. They'd be like, well, your mother, she was concerned that we could help you. Yeah, take me to federal prison. You can help me do. So I think that when you get off into some really, really deep stuff, I like because we know people, right, who would flex, right? But there's like
Mm-hmm.
small time. You know what I'm saying? Like, things like, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm out there, like, you know what I'm saying? But when you start dealing with some real stuff, when you start dealing with cartel and the triad and the mafia and the different things like that, it's best to not tell anybody anything, because those now become people who could now become potential victims for the future. You know what I'm saying? So you need to keep
Or
those
witnesses.
people, yeah, well, witnesses and victims, you know what I'm saying? So you have to keep those people out of it if you want to protect them. Like, you can't say anything. Um, but I'm gonna say, in terms of, like, she may not know about his mafioso lifestyle, but I'm sure she didn't saw him be kind of, staring a few chicks down or flirting with some people and thought, okay, all right, not my business. I'm not gonna say nothing about the situation. But yeah, I definitely think that Malia has this. this notion of I'm gonna take you face, take everything at face value. You know what I'm saying? Like we were always taught, trust everybody, believe in everybody until they show you that you can't believe them. That is a terrible way to train your children. Just believe them until they show you that they're lying. My mom used to always tell me that when a person show you that they're a liar, then they lying. But until they show you that they're a liar, give them your. I don't do that no more. You have to build that up. I need to know. You know what I'm saying? So no,
Hmm.
I think Malia is definitely in that place where she's just like, he's a businessman and he's doing these things and just naive, not really thinking, could you really afford this? Or haven't I seen you out? Or, you know what I'm saying? But I think that April is like a great cover too. April's not blowing nothing up. April is being taken very good care of. The book said that Antonio gives her an allowance of 5 grand a week. And he pays for all the bills
And
on
it
top of
pays
that.
the bills. Mm.
That's just spending money. That's just you go out and kick it, have fun, you know what I'm saying? Buy at the bar, you and your girls go to Miami, run up the numbers, you know what I'm saying? Like everything is covered already at home. This is just play money. So she knows. It says that her and April and Antonio have a do not tell, do not ask, don't tell, type of relationship. And that, even when he's gone for days at a time and doesn't check back in with her, there's not this feeling of like, call him
Mm.
up. You know what I'm saying? Like he said he was going to Vegas for business, but I ain't heard from him in 4 days. Like she's not stupid. She knows what her man is up to. She's like, you know what I'm saying? Fine. I think April's biggest thing is like, I guess you cheat respectfully, Alicia. We always laugh at that, right?
So
Don't do it with
respectful.
nobody I know.
Don't do it in
Don't do it
front of
with
my
nobody I know.
face.
Don't do What'd you say?
Don't do it with anybody you know or in front of your face.
Right. Don't do it in front of me and don't do it with anybody I know. Cause ain't no chick gonna step to me and be like, yeah, cause your man was at my house. You see what I'm saying? So I think that April provides a really good cover. And going back to like earlier, I think it was Alicia said, April's perfect for him. She knows his lifestyle. She accepts him fully. But for some reason, he's just like, I got this itch for Malia and I got to scratch it. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't. But you really don't, though. You
Mm.
really don't have to scratch nothing. So, yeah, I think there might be things that she's recognizes about his lifestyle, but it's Rose City. They talked about infidelity is pretty strong in that community. Goes back to men will be men. You can't expect a man to be married to a woman for 20 years and not get bored. Like she don't get bored with the same piece of summer sausage. You know what I'm saying? But she's
Okay.
still there faithful. She
Okay, you
still
said
ain't cheating. She
summer
ain't playing.
sausage.
We always like men don't be saying like, you really expect that man to be with this woman for the rest of his life? Crazy. No, you're crazy because you're gonna let all of this go. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Because okay, I'm not gonna go there. I'm just saying you're gonna let all this go because you out here being stupid. You wanna taste Tracy and Sydney and everybody else. Bye. Because you didn't mess up a good thing. I mean a real good thing. So I think it's Rose City. A lot of men there, they have these casual relationships with women. And as long as I guess you keep it respectful with your cheating, you know, most of the time nobody says anything. So